Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you may be in the world. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm kind of going to talk about the Sorc and what it is that I enjoy about her and just all the different aspects of the Sorc so that you can maybe see from this and learn from this and then decide if you actually want to give Sorc a try or play it, or if you are a Sorc main yourself like I am and then you just want to share with your love down below in the comments about Sorc. I did see Brother Chris posting some videos like this. I haven't actually watched them yet. I haven't got around to it. I'm sure they're pretty amazing, but yeah, that is kind of where this idea jumped up, and I had this idea of just talking about the Sorc in general. So shout out to Brother Chris, and this is going to be all about the Sorc. But before I get into that, if you guys could go ahead and smash the sub and like button on this video, it helps me out so much and it keeps you guys up to date on everything Lost Ark and Augiesaint in general. With that out the way, let's hop straight into the video now, shall we? So here we are 1 year later on my Sorc. Why do I like it? How did it start? Everything about it. So my Sorc was actually not my very first character, my Bride was my first character. I got it to level 50 and then I used the Vern Power Pass. We get 2 once you get to level 50 and I boosted a Sorc and I never looked back. I played the Sorc since then. I pushed it all the way through tier 1 and tier 2 back in the day when it wasn't as easy as it is now. So Sorc was then my official main and I haven't actually changed or swapped off of Sorc ever since then. I did obviously level my Bard up alongside. Once my Sorc was in T3, I believe I brought my Bard up as well. And then I did play my Bard, and my Bard is in my top 6 and my new, so to say, main, but my Sorc is still my real OG main, and why I love her so much is just the diverse builds on her, and both builds are really good. It's not like any off builds that are bad. You kind of know, like, I know Perfect Depression is a good build, but hey, Perfect Depression, why would you want to play that when you can turn into a demon and jump around? So it's just an example. I'm not actually pointing fingers at you guys. I know there is Perfect Depression enjoyers out there, but you know what I mean, it's more of like a meta strong build. So Reflux is meta strong, Igniter is pretty strong, but at the end of the day, Lost Ark is all about playing what you enjoy, and every single build can clear the game. That is including Scouters, by the way, even AT Scouters, believe it or not, so stop gatekeeping them. But yeah, that's why I like the Sorc, is that within Reflux there's actually so many different builds. I can think of 3 off the top of my head. The Casting Reflux, the one that I actually play and love. And then there's the instant cast Reflux, also pretty good. With both of those stack crit. And then there's the swiftness piano Reflux as well. Apparently that one is stronger than my build. I see a lot of people saying that, and they always comment and say that casting Reflux is not that strong, you should change your build, blah blah blah. But I have beaten people at plus 20 weapons with my plus 15 weapon before I honed it up. And I was actually smashing them quite easily. I even beat some gunslingers before. I know that could just be player skill difference and stuff that happens, but if my build is as bad as you say it is, then I should not even be getting that. I crew fighter pretty much everything. When I try as hard as I can, my build pops off and does a lot of damage. The reason I like it so much and play it so much is because I love casting Doomsday. Doomsday is my favorite skill in the game. There's nothing else that comes close. The animation, everything behind it is just amazing. And when you play Igniter, that gets amplified even more. But I feel sad when I miss an Igniter media, because you know that's all your damage. If you miss an Igniter media, or if it doesn't crit, you're doing no damage at all. Reflux, if you miss a media, that's alright, you can throw one out again 10 seconds later. So that's why I like it. It's more forgiving. And what I often like to do, I just haven't been able to build up my full Igniter set yet. So I play my Reflux Sorc to learn the fight. And then once I know the fight and I got really good at it, you know, the timings and the positionings and everything and the mechanics, you switch over to the Igniter and you just absolutely delete it, because you know what's going to happen, so you're used to the fight. But at the same time, Igniter still requires a little bit of RNG, and just, you've really got to know the boss patterns, because you could know the fight really well and everything, but you really have to know the boss patterns, like after what move he's going to do what, so you know he's going to stand still for a couple of seconds, you're going to ignite Doomsday right there. So you've really got to know all those little min-maxing things about it, and I would actually play Ignite if I could afford building an Igniter Sorc. But I guess maybe now I can start saving up for it, now that I've actually built the rest of my characters on my roster and got them all up to where I want them to be. For now, we'll work on Igniter Sorc as our next goal, so to say. Yeah, that's actually how my build started on Precise Dagger, as you can see there. I cut a 7-7 stone one day. I actually found the stone in a chaos dungeon. I cut it and it was 7-7. I was like, I'm never going to cut a 7-7 again. So I started making my build off Precise Dagger, and eventually I got my books. I think I bought all out attack books because they were cheaper than Grudge in the beginning. Obviously they still are, but that's what I did way before I even had Grudge. And then I could 5x3 my Reflux casting Sorc for pretty cheap. As you see, my quality is not the best, as I only have 1692 crit. You can see that I have one green earring. You should actually put the green on your rings. You should not do that. I believe it's my class piece. Yeah, it is. That's before I was, you know, better at the game and I knew all this stuff. But my build is pretty budget. I think it cost me like 60 to 80k for the accessories, not including fions, just the accessories themselves. That's really cheap if you think about a 5x3 build. And it really pumps really hard. It's so fun. You just chuck stuff out all the time, and then once I get massive cooldown gems later on, I believe I'm just gonna like really be throwing stuff all over the place. My meters, depending on buffs, hit from 25 to 40. I've even seen a 50 million meter already. I actually haven't tested my new plus 18 weapon yet in a real proper situation this week yet. So I bet those meters are gonna hit for like 60 million right now, and that's a lot if you think about it. That's like what a 1500 igniter Sorc setting for. And that's once every, you know, 10 years when the meteor actually hits and crits. I'm doing that all every 10 seconds. I'm checking out meteors and it's just so much fun. And you get to really cycle through everything fast. And then your W, obviously, as a shield, you can use a, what do you call that thing, a counter skill or something else if you want. It's really, you can do what you want kind of a thing. It's pretty open, except if you are playing the Final Strike version like I am, or the crit one. That's when Precise Dagger actually is pretty viable, and it's a good 5x3. It's not like it's a budget 5x3, but I have tested versus a Keen Blunt build in swapping out the Precise Dagger for Keen Blunt, and I actually out DPS the Keen Blunt version. I know it's more variable on a Keen Blunt one, because you could out DPS them, or they could do less than you. It's very up and down because of how crits work. But with Precise Dagger, your damage is a lot more consistent, and I like consistent damage, so that's why I play Precise Dagger, and it was cheaper. But one day we are going to build probably just going to go straight to building the Igniter before we actually build a Keen Blunt, because why waste all that gold for something really similar and like up and down instead of what I have right now. So that's pretty much all there is for me to talk about Sorc. I can't think of anything else. The card set, that was pretty annoying for me, the card set early on. Obviously I have the LOS now, but the Lost Wind set, trying to get that early on, I had such bad luck until I got my Lost Wind. Like not too long after that I got my LOS 18. That's how bad it was for me. I was using the HP card set. I think we cleared Clown. No, it was 1 week before Clown came out, and I got my LOS set 1 week before Clown came out, and I'd been doing stuff all the time. I've been playing since the launch, and yeah, that helped me boost my damage a lot, because obviously the crit chance with my crit build is really nice. But that is something with Sorc that I did not like. So that's something I didn't like, was having the HP card set for so long because of RNG. But that's not really Sorc's fault. That's just how Lost Ark is in the cards, I guess. And yeah, so Sorc, I love it. It's a caster. It's big cooldowns, big damage, big everything. I'll try and add some gameplay in while I'm talking about everything so you guys can see that instead of me the whole time. But yeah, it's really fun class. Fast paced. If you play Reflux, you can literally teleport all over the place. I love it. I barely ever walk or use my spacebar. I'm just teleporting all over the place. It's like, if you ever played Black Mage from Final Fantasy 14, Black Mages never walk. You never use your feet. If you use your feet, you're a bad Black Mage. You've got this like skill that teleports you to other people called Ethereal Manipulation, and that's all you did as Black Mage. Well, that's what the good ones did. You stand like on the edge of this thing. You got a cooldown ley lines that makes you faster. It's on the ground. Stand like really on the edge of that. The boss hits an AoE, and if that goes over your circle, you hit Ethereal Manipulation to someone away from it, and then you carry on casting, and then you hit another skill that returns you back to that spot, and you carry on casting. Never move. And never move. If you see a Black Mage moving, tell them they're bad. Augie said so, you know. That's how it is. Yeah, that's what I really like about my Sorc. Reminds me of Black Mage from Final Fantasy. Big Doomsday, big numbers, very mobile, but not speedy, but mobile. You can teleport a lot, especially if you are playing Reflux. If you're not playing Reflux, then Igniter is not there. But Igniter is a really high skill cap, I would say. Well, to be really good at Igniter, you've got to know the boss patterns more than what you've actually got to know the class. But then you do actually have to know the min-maxing stuff on Igniter, like what to cast at what times. Your double Doomsday, you've got to get your double Doomsday off, or try and get it off, and then you should actually use a bar if it's not full. There's a lot of stuff to know with Igniter. Over Reflux, you just throw stuff out. There's one thing on Reflux, well, casting Reflux you have to know how to do is animation cancelling, so instant casting your stuff. Well, casting your stuff, but then animation cancelling it. There's a lot of skills that can actually do that. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you guys actually want me to make a guide on that, let me know, and I'll make one soon for you guys. If you guys request it or want that, yeah, how to animation cancel on Sorc. I believe you can do it on a lot of classes, but Sorc, I know on someone you can do it as well, because I do it there as well on my communication overflow summoner. Where Sorc, you have to animation cancel if you want to do good on a casting Reflux Sorc. So there's a little bit of knowledge behind it all, and if you're not animation cancelling, you're going to be doing less damage on casting Reflux. That's just how it is. So yeah, that's all I can think about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe and all that beautiful stuff. It helps me out so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying.